A bank is a place that will lend you money if you can prove that you don't need it. My idea of Christmas, whether old-fashioned or modern, is very simple: loving others. Come to think of it, why do we have to wait for Christmas to do that? You know you're getting old when the candles cost more than the cake. Chiropractic is a wonderful means of natural healing. You never get tired unless you stop and take time for it. With today's movies, if we took out all the bad language, we'd go back to silent films. Your ignorance cramps my conversation. If you haven't got any charity in your heart, you have the worst kind of heart trouble. Free speech isn't dead in Germany and Italy, merely the speakers. Middle age is when you still believe you'll feel better in the morning. I love flying. I've been to almost as many places as my luggage. Welcome to the Academy Awards, or, as it's known at my house, Passover. She said she was approaching 40, and I couldn't help wondering from what direction. A Freudian slip is when you say one thing but mean your mother. I don't know what people have against government, they haven't done anything. I have seen what a laugh can do. It can transform almost unbearable tears into something bearable, even hopeful. I like a president who tells jokes instead of appointing them. Don't people know that they don't have to heckle the President of the United States? That's what Congress is for. Failure is the only thing I've ever been a success at. Golf is a hard game to figure. One day you will go out and slice it and shank it, hit into all the traps and miss every green. The next day you go out and, for no reason at all, you really stink. I feel very humble, but I think I have the strength of character to fight it. It's amazing how many people you see on TV. I did my first television show a month ago, and the next day 5 million television sets were sold. The people who couldn't sell theirs threw them away. If you think golf is relaxing, you're not playing it right. I do benefits for all religions. I'd hate to blow the hereafter on a technicality. Congress may be going home for the holidays soon. How can you beat a Christmas gift like that? Middle age is when your age starts to show around your middle. Please don't stand up on my account. Bigamy is the only crime where two rights make a wrong. When we recall Christmas past, we usually find that the simplest things, not the great occasions, give off the greatest glow of happiness. Bing Crosby and I weren't the types to go around kissing each other. We always had a light jab for each other. One of our stock lines used to be, "There's nothing I wouldn't do for Bing, and there's nothing he wouldn't do for me." And that's the way we go through life, doing nothing for each other. We're on our way to the Persian Gulf. Wait, it's a mistake. I thought they said Persian Gulf. I don't feel old. I don't feel anything till noon. That's when it's time for my nap. If I have to lay an egg for my country, I'll do it. Where else but in America could the women's liberation movement take off their bras, then go on TV to complain about their lack of support? I have the perfect simplified tax form for government. Why don't they just print our money with a return address on it? Everyone's nervous these days. Ronald McDonald has hired 6 bodyguards, and that's just to protect his buns. I just hope I don't have to explain all the times I've used his name in vain when I get up there. Did you see where President Reagan finally got a hearing aid? People have been telling him to get one for years, but he couldn't hear them. Television. That's where movies go when they die. My secret for staying young is good food, plenty of rest, and a makeup man with a spray gun. People who throw kisses are hopelessly lazy. I love to go to Washington, if only to be near my money. I tell jokes to pay my green fees. We flew over to England by the same route Churchill took. It was easy. All we had to do was follow the cigar ashes. I do try to work out a little. I go swimming twice a day. It beats buying golf balls. The audience was swell. They were so polite they covered their mouths when they yawned. To give you an idea of how fast we traveled, we left with 2 rabbits and when we arrived we still had only 2. Our first stop was Red Square, the heart of Moscow, if Moscow has one. As soon as the war ended, we located the one spot on Earth that hadn't been touched by the war and blew it to hell. I always like to go to Washington, D.C. It gives me a chance to visit my money. A bank is a place that will lend you money if you can prove that you don't need it. If you haven't got any charity in your heart, you have the worst kind of heart trouble. The trees in Siberia are miles apart, that is why the dogs are so fast. My idea of Christmas, whether old-fashioned or modern, is very simple: loving others. Come to think of it, why do we have to wait for Christmas to do that? I do benefits for all religions. I'd hate to blow the hereafter on a technicality. You know you're getting old when the candles cost more than the cake. When she started to play, Steinway came down personally and rubbed his name off the piano. I have a wonderful makeup crew. They're the same people restoring the Statue of Liberty. I've always been in the right place and time. Of course, I steered myself there. A sense of humor is good for you. Have you ever heard of a laughing hyena with heartburn? Middle age is when your age starts to show around your middle. I have seen what a laugh can do. It can transform almost unbearable tears into something bearable, even hopeful. The good news is that Jesus is coming back. The bad news is that he's really pissed off. I went to play golf and tried to shoot my age, but I shot my weight instead.